Hello everyone and welcome to the Nashville Fairgrounds for the running of the Tractor Supply Code 250 at Nashville. We're here in the Crown Royal Truck Series for the 9th race of the season, and it is an 80-lap event with 40 truck drivers. Thing about this, the 80 laps is interesting as the fuel window has been shown to be 65 to 70 laps. We'll have to see if anyone would be able to stretch it long enough to make it all the way on one stop. That is, if the race goes green. If there is a caution at some point after lap 15, basically, you want to come in, 4 tires, fuel, and race to the finish. Right now up in front, Roger Ray in the 84 is your pole sitter, and alongside him is Alex Benyako. A couple weeks back at Texas, that's when we saw Benyako on the pole and Ray in second. And that is the second race in a row that the points leader has been the pole sitter. Benyako was the points leader heading into Texas. Now Roger Ray, the points leader as we head through Nashville. In row number 2 sits Sebastian Kukulon in the number 20 PKN Orland Dodge Ram. We are seeing if Kukulon can get his second win of the season on the short tracks. This track is supposed to run kind of like Memphis, a bit harder to pass, but you should be able to still make moves when necessary. Plus, we might see some lap traffic possibly being here if the race goes green long enough. So Kukulon trying to get his second win on the year. Peter Onjak is second in points, who's had a great run this year in both trucks and cup, looking for his first truck win this season. And in 5th position is Brandon Morris for Shepherd Racing, looking for their first career win as a team. Morris has never won in the Crown Royal Truck Series, but has one cup win this year. He starts 5th. A couple weeks back at Pocono, the Pocono doubleheader, he was the pole sitter for the first of the 2 Pocono events, which is nice to see that the 89 team might be hitting on a great qualifying setup. And in 6th is Kyle Corbett, making one of his few starts for Rockstar Energy Racing's number 19 this season. He put this truck 6th quickest on the grid. Going to be entertaining to see if Corbett can get up there and fight with the big dogs. A Mountain Dew Custom Series driver in his rookie season there, but a DPDS veteran with 2 wins under his belt there. We'll see if Corbett can hang up front with the big dogs. Jose Perez was a lap away from winning at Texas a couple weeks back. Now he rolls off in 7th. Was passed on the last lap by eventual race winner Alex Peters. Alongside him, Cody Goforth having a good run. Anderson Reed in 9th as well is starting his comeback on this season. Was outside of the top 20 pretty much the whole season in points. He's back up into the 19th spot, as well as Irving Allison there. The 12 is driven by Alex Parker, the rookie, who in Memphis testing in the offseason crashed a truck 3 times. We're going to have to see if Alex can keep this truck under himself and even come out with maybe a top 10. He has the pace to qualify 11th. We'll have to see, though, how he runs with other trucks around him. A DPDS and Mountain and Molson Modified Series veteran. We'll see how he does in his truck start for RER. Gatlin Downey puts the Mercedes truck of Silver Wolf Racing 13th quickest. Outstanding for that 18 team. He rolls off near the front. Austin Murray with a new sponsor in that number 91, the Cadbury colors. Larry Hagan rolling off 21st. He loves short tracks, but a pretty poor qualifying start puts him back mid-pack. And there's Adam Mitchell, Hagan's protege in that Hagan Enterprises car. This is the KGM equipment, number 25, the Okuma truck that's been running for most of the season. And Brandon Beal, another DPDS driver, making his Truck Series debut today, rolls off in 23rd. It's going to be nice to see if that one team can get themselves to the front. Looking further back, Zachary Fitzwater, after a vicious hit at Texas, he is back out. He was medically cleared after a couple weeks rest, and now he is back in that truck. You also got Alex Fletcher in the 32. Joseph Strigley is back in the 63 after his Pocono incident. And you got Maxwell Fye, and they're the bottom guys. Matthew Brown, Tib Foster, Eric Monaco, 16, 90, and 72, all failed inspection post-qualifying. Those 3, the highest out of them, though. Matthew Brown only started 31st, so not a big loss for them. We're ready to go racing here at Nashville. It's going to be 80 laps around this short track. Let's go head down trackside for the commands to fire the engines at the Tractor Supply Company 250 here at Nashville. Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up this season to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for the fastest qualifier in all 20 Crown Royal Truck Series races this season. This week it's Roger Ray in the number 84 Icon Vehicle Dynamics Dodge for Ange Auto, trying to put himself, the points leader, at a better advantage heading into the final few races before the regular season ends. Can he finally get that first win in a National Series competition tonight here at Nashville? We'll wait to find out after 80 laps at the Nashville Fairgrounds. With that, the engines are fired. 40 drivers rolling off for 80 laps here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Sure to be an exciting event. We got a couple strong trucks up front and a couple in the back. Jay Jefferson, Alex Peters, two of the strongest trucks this season. The only two with multiple wins on the season, starting this race from row 10 in 19th and 20th. Now, what we're going to be seeing here, cautions will definitely play with the strategy, but possibly there's a chance that if you come down early, say on lap 15 or 20, and you don't have to worry about pitting the rest of the race, that could be a viable strategy if the race goes green. But again, we're going to have to see if the cautions play a factor here, just like we have all season. It's sure to be an exciting race. 80 laps at Nashville. Ray and Benyako lead us down. Green flags in the air, and Benyako with a blinding restart in the 83. He's out into the lead early over Roger Ray. I'm not sure if there's an issue. There might be an issue with the 84. He looks very slow, as now Anjak's gotten by him, and Ray immediately drops to the third position as they come off of the corner. But he's third after lap 1. Benyako and Anjak lead. There is no rule in the NSDCA saying you cannot beat the race leader to the line on the start of the race. The double file restarts or starts to the race. You just cannot go before the green flag flies. Or it is a penalty. But that was a horrible start to the race for Ray, and he now sits fourth, as you got the 19 of Kyle Corbett third, Peter Anjak second, but the 83 of Benyako, who was looking to win at Texas last week before a bad mechanical failure, he right now leads at Nashville as well. 3 laps through this one. Benyako out in front. Anjak second. Corbett third. Ray fourth. Morris fifth. Kukulon sixth. Reed in seventh. Eighth is Alex Parker. Ninth, Perez. And the battle for 10th is the first battle on the track between Johnson, DeLello, and Colton Yo. Red flag on pit road. Caution is out. It's Luke Rainey into the wall in the 71. They're moving on around. Matthew Brown has picked up a few spots early. But we have a caution early. Luke Rainey, heavy front-end damage to that 71 truck. TRD not having a good time this weekend. They already had Cordell Smith DNQ in the TRD 67. And now we got a differing strategy early. Alex Benyako going to bring that 83 on in. And this is going to be a pretty messy pit road time here. It's a small pit road, plus you don't have a lot of time to slow down and single file out as you head onto pit road. So we'll see. Hopefully there's no incidents there. Eli Bright trying to get by. Colton Lane trying to get by. Yeah, he's not coming in. Don't worry about that commitment cone. There is no commitment cone violation in the NSDCA either, I don't believe. Aiden Smith, Joseph Strigley also coming in from the back. Luke Rainey coming in from the back. But a good portion of trucks staying out. A lot of guys coming in, so it basically you're going to want to go 4 tires and fuel here. This is a very cramped pit road, so you're going to have to watch entering and exiting your pit boxes here at Nashville. And you could see some incidents just like at South Boston, as these guys got to turn very hard to get out of their pit boxes. Cody Goforth close to Murray there. But it looks like for the most part, the whole field, at least up here, is going to come on out green and clean. Coming off of pit road. Peter Anjak's now coming in later, so it looks like he's trying to beat the hubbub as well. Gatlin Downey's coming on in. So 6 of 80. It's a bit early, but if you top off now, you might have a better chance at actually making it to the end of the race on one fuel run. But there's Gatlin Downey bringing that 18 down pit road, the Home Depot 18. So Silver Wolf Racing, probably more important for Silver Wolf that they come down without anyone there. Because they don't want to damage the car. But now that puts Kyle Corbett in the 19 into the race lead. Look at Alex Parker in 4th. So already a major differing strategy puts us in an interesting spot to see if these guys sacrificing that early track position will be able to make it to the end. And again, this is a race that has no known factors already. And it looks like it's a sprinkling of drivers coming down pit road during these cautions. So Ray, Morris, DeLello now bringing it on in. So it looks like a lot of guys trying to play some strategy early and get themselves topped off on fuel early to possibly make it a one-stop. Peter Anjak actually bringing the 44 back in. But we are under caution for the first time today. Luke Rainey goes around in the 71 with some heavy damage as well. Aiden Smith has some front-end damage to that 68 truck. We'll go ahead, take a quick replay, bring guys back to the action here at Nashville right after this. Early crash here at Nashville. Zachary Fitzwater 3 wide with Kev Shearer, Dusty Neal. They're going to hook together, bounce off. Luke Rainey into the back and gets the most damage out of anyone in that number 71 truck. Luke Rainey, though, just had nowhere to go. It's going to be a big hit to that team, and that's going to be sad for TRD. Rainey out early at Nashville.
In a world of boring and generic YouTubers, only one channel has the wherewithal to take risks.
I was on the floor, bent over the toilet.
No! One more! Why won't I stop? You know what?
Deal.
Back live here at Nashville. Kyle Corbett, your race leader. Alex Parker, second. Stephen Wallace Jr., third. Larry Hagan, fourth. Eli Bright in fifth. Colton Lane, sixth. Riley Spurley-Tube, seventh. Logan Bradley, eighth. Dusty Neal up to ninth. Irving Allison, 10th. And all the way back here is the first driver that came in under this caution on lap 6, Alex Beniaco. Right now, you had 3 differing pit strategies. 4 differing, actually. The guys that stayed out, the guys that came in on lap 6, lap 7, and lap 8. The lap 8 guys probably the most likely to make it to the end now, but we'll see what will happen here at Nashville. Green flags back in the air. Corbett leads them down. Stephen Wallace Jr. right on the back. Now Alex Parker right up to the back of teammate this weekend, Kyle Corbett. They're out in front. Caution. Back out. DeLello, Morris, and Onjak in it. And now the 19 of Corbett will lead them off of the corner. Larry Hagan dropping back big time in that 76. It looked like he had some damage there, or was real slow there in that 76. And contact there. Stephen Wallace Jr., Colton Lane coming back around. They're going to spin each other and bounce into the wall there as they come up. Now the rest of the field trying to organize themselves, coming back up to pace speed. Onjak back down pit road. It looks like that strategy's just going out the window for the 44 truck. He's just coming in now. Might have some damage to that truck. But now everyone's coming on in except Austin Johnson, Alex Beniaco, the guys that pit on that opening caution. And now the whole rest of the field is coming on in for their stuff. And it looks like a handful of drivers are going to stay out on track. You see the team working on that 44 truck. They not propping it up. They're trying to repair all the damage that's done to it now. But that is an early caution here right on the restart. And as we've said before, cautions breed cautions. Looks like Colton Lane's going to lead them out. Then the RER guys of Parker and Corbett. The rest of the field coming on out again. This is a very busy pit road. Now you got Roger Ray pulling off in front of these guys. And it's a very small pit road. It's very busy. Onjak trying to get out. You pretty much got to go at like a 60-degree angle there to get out of your pit box at some points. So everyone else pulling themselves on out. We are going to be going back racing here. There's Luke Rainey. The 71 team's trying to stay on the lead lap. That's why they aren't really repairing the hood of that. They're just trying to get as much as they can done under these cautions as possible, but not much repairs to the 71 truck as they're trying to keep him on the lead lap here at Nashville. And there you see, going to bring him back on down. But immediately they spin again. Now we got some new strategy at play here at Nashville. We'll see what'll happen. Everyone has came down pit road already this race. We'll see what strategy will win out here at Nashville. Another crash immediately in this event. Zachary DeLello on the restart. Looks for a move to the inside of Morris. They get together as Zachary DeLello slides up. Peter Onjak hits it. Luke Rainey splits the middle. But some damage to those three. And you see Peter Onjak back here. Just they spin and then he just has nowhere to go. Runs right into the back. Damage to the 44. Later on, actually, Stephen Wallace Jr., Colton Lane, they just hooked together coming back to the restart. But we are under caution for the second time today here at Nashville. Coming back to you at Nashville, a lap or two early. We're gonna just recap basically what we saw so far in this race. So you got Austin Johnson, Alex Beniaco, Anderson Reed, Jose Perez, Austin Murray, Jay Jefferson, and Cody Goforth, and Adam Mitchell. These guys all came in on lap 6. That means you'd have about 75 laps to stretch your fuel. The 18 of Gatlin Downey last pit on lap 7, so that's 74 laps. And Zachary DeLello came in on lap 8. That's 73 laps. The rest of the field from Colton Lane on back should be able to make it on fuel in the fuel window. They came in on lap 13, meaning you'd have 68 laps of fuel left. That is the thing we see here. If we can get some green flag racing and maybe get the field to spread out a bit, we could see some strategy at the end. If we can get this race somehow green to the end, we could see some good racing. But we got yet another restart coming on up, the third one of the day. So Austin Johnson in the race lead, Alex Beniaco second, Anderson Reed, Jose Perez, Austin Murray, your top 5. The 44 had a lot of issues this race. That pit strategy did not work on that restart when Morris and DeLello got together. So Onjack is 1 lap down. Luke Rainey, again, that team just trying to hang on the lead lap with all that damage, and that's why they just keep coming in under cautions, trying just a couple seconds just to try to fix something on that truck, keep him on the lead lap. Maybe he'll be able to take some spots over the rest. But coming down the front straightaway, Austin Johnson, Alex Beniaco leading us down. We'll see if they can make the fuel last. Green flags back in the air. We're racing once again at Nashville. Anderson Reed in the 41 truck getting a big run there, but Beniaco, does he have anything in that 83 for the 77 of Austin Johnson? Looks like on this restart, they're going to keep it clean in the back for the most part, and we're going to keep on a wider angle shot. DeLello's coming down pit road in the 53 as we got Beniaco going for the race lead in the 77, so there might be an issue up there with the 53 truck, but now Beniaco bumping the back of the 77. There's some contact between the front two as Beniaco's going for this race lead there for SBR. As they come on around now, Perez jumping to the inside of Anderson Reed as they come on off. Rest of the field fighting further back. DeLello on pit road. They might be trying to repair some damage. Looks like the 12. That's the 12 of the 19. That is the 19 of Corbett's back down pit road there in that truck. So now we're seeing maybe some issues with the damage from pit road or from the race or just an abrasive track surface that could be affecting some tire wear already. But the field right now, the rest of the field staying pretty much out in front. Austin Murray now going to get that 91 up into the 4th spot over Jose Perez as they fight for that position there. Now Anderson Reed all over the back of Beniaco. Reed not a fan of the short tracks, but he's running pretty well at this one up in 3rd right now. His smallest track victory came this year in the Mountain Dew Custom Series on the 1 mile oval of I-69 Speedway. His smallest track before that was, I'm pretty sure, just a 2 mile oval, wherever he won there. He's won at Daytona, he's won at Watkins Glen, he's won at Pocono before, but never on a 1.5 mile oval. He's gotten a 1 mile win, but definitely not a short track. Does not like it, is not a fan of short track racing, and it's showing right now that he might be right now in for a good finish this race. But Austin Johnson out in front, Beniaco chasing closely behind. Rainey now, that team still trying to work on it. Stephen Wallace Jr. slow. He might have some severe damage from that incident with Colton Lane under the caution, and I'm sure that they're going to have a talk about that. I didn't see anything in the race. I didn't see anything that would have said that there would have been an issue there. There's Luke Rainey now. Looks like he's just trying to survive this 71 around this track. So that's pretty bad for Luke Rainey there. But as we see now, Beniaco battling for that 2nd spot with Anderson Reed side by side for that 2nd position there. Not going to happen, though. Perez and Goforth back there in that battle for that 6th position. We're going to take a quick commercial break, bring guys back to the action here at Nashville right after this for the Tractor Supply Co. 250 at Nashville. Back live here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Battle for 2nd between Reed and Beniaco. Under the commercial break, the NSDCA has told the TRD team to pack it up and go home. Because Luke Rainey was just running the pit road, he was not maintaining race speed and therefore was parked in the number 71 truck there today. Austin Murray now up into the third spot as Benyako drops back. Jay Jefferson in the 48 is fourth as Austin Johnson has absolutely pulled away in that 77 with no one fighting him. Morris down pit road, might be trying to repair some damage there. And a lot of teams complaining about some handling issues. A lot of damage to these trucks from this basically just running around here, not really having much experience here at Nashville. So Morris now down pit road in the 89 as well. They're going to try to diagnose what's going wrong with that team. Now Jefferson in the 48 going to get a nose to the inside of Murray into third. Jefferson was on track to winning 3 in a row last week at Texas before an engine failure took him out. No one in the NSDCA has ever won 3 in a row in any series across these past 6 seasons. So Jefferson was trying to make history there, but just like those before him, he had an issue that took him out of a race win. He's now up in second. 3 for 4 would not be a record. I believe he did that last season, but I don't think Jay cares. He just wants to get up there, win as many races as he can, and go for a championship. Now Austin Johnson has the 89 of Morris in front of him. Morris does have fresher tires, though, for coming down pit road. You see that 89 has repaired the left side damage that was on that truck earlier in this race. Austin Johnson now held up by some lap traffic, but you might see anyway, look right there, you see the 72, the 63, those guys would be on speed more than these guys coming down pit road, so you might still see some lap traffic coming in lately. Brandon Beal in his debut, right now 30th in that one truck. It's not going to be too much expectations for that team this year. Of course, it's only the second time this equipment's ever driven on track. The first time was at Daytona this season. So the one team, you know, it's just out there. They're putting some funds together just to get a couple guys some rides. Nice to see Beal at least keeping the truck clean so far. Fitzwater up in 28th. That's hopefully good for that 59 team. Roger Ray mired back in the pack now in that 84 after those pit stops. He's 27th. Peter Onjak trying to tear through the field. I believe he's the most one of the most recent pitters on this track, so he might have a lap or 2 fresher tires. Corbett in the 35 was complaining of handling issues. The car was going away from him way too quickly. They came down pit road, put some more tires on that, so it looks like that truck now handling well, so it might have been a loose lug nut or something on that team. Back up front, though, Austin Murray going after Anderson Reed. Jay Jefferson catching up to Johnson. Let's go ahead a quick through the field. Austin Johnson, your race leader. Jay Jefferson second. Murray up in third. Anderson Reed sits fourth and Jose Perez fifth. Alex Benyako sixth. Cody Goforth seventh. Eli Bright eighth. Colton Lane ninth. And in 10th, a great run today for Alex Parker. 11th is the Silver Wolf Racing 18 of Gatlin Downey. 12th, Irving Allison. 13th, Logan Bradley. 14th, Colton Yo. And 15th, Sebastian Kukulon. Antoine Smith is 16th. Ethan Ed 17th. Neil 18th. Adam Mitchell in 19th. Jesse Turner rounds out your top 20. Right now, he's fighting Riley Spurley-Tube for that 20th position, with Spurley in 21st currently. Hagan 22nd. Matthew Brown 23rd. 24th is Tib Foster. 25th, Alex Fletcher. Roger Ray trying to force his way back up through the field. He sits 26th. 27th, Alex Peters. 28th, Stephen Wallace Jr. Not 28th. Stephen Wallace Jr. actually a lap down. Zachary Fitzwater's 28th. Brandon Beal fighting Aiden Smith for 29th and 30th. 31st, Maxwell Fay. 32nd, Eric Monaco. 33rd, Kev Shearer. 34th, Strigley. And lappers right now maintain the final spots. Kyle Corbett 1 lap down in 35th. Onjak 36th. Morris. Stephen Wallace Jr. actually 37th, Morris 38th, and Zachary DeLello 2 laps down 39th. Luke Rainey, the only truck out of this one, in 40th. But now you see Austin Johnson in the 77 has caught lap traffic as we're hitting the halfway point. He's going to have to maneuver not just around the 89, but around guys like Joseph Strigley, Kev Shearer, Eric Monaco as well, as they fight there as they come on around. But now Johnson's going to try to use Morris as a pick. Morris has a lap or 2, a good little bit of more grip in that 89 probably with that fresher tire pit stop, but now he's behind 2 lap trucks, and with 2 drivers on a mission behind him, Jay Jefferson and Austin Murray catching quickly from this. This could be a big battle for the race lead if Jefferson and Austin Murray can get up there. Austin Johnson has been, we've said a couple times this season, it doesn't seem like he's living up to the potential and the dominance that Diego Yepes had in the 77 trucks. Diego did not have a winless season at his own team, and whenever it was either Monster Motorsports or Diego Yepes Incorporated, and especially in the 77, I'm pretty sure he's won every season he's competed with the number 77 on the hood, except for last season with Shepherd Racing, as you see the Shepherd Racing equipment right in front of him. That's Brandon Morris. But Austin Johnson, he has no wins this season. He's 10th in points, which isn't even a chase spot in the trucks, as it's the top 8 plus 2 wild cards, and he needs a win to even get a wild card slot at this point. So Johnson, it has been struggling this year. It's still a great run, but an average finish of 14th, average start at 20th, and now he's right now finally in the race lead for one of the few times this season. He has Jefferson and Murray, another winless driver who's pretty much disappointing this year for Pedal to Metal Racing. They are in the hunt to take out this 77, but Johnson doing his best he can to take out, to get a race win here as we're down the final 36 laps at Nashville. Jefferson and Murray have caught about 2 seconds on Johnson as they are in the lap traffic. Back and forth, Anderson Reed. Benyako's clear into 5th. Lane now fighting Perez for that spot. But again, a great run today for Alex Parker, keeping that truck clean inside the top 10 in that 12 truck. Kukulon looking to the inside of Downey. Downey is really a top 20, is fantastic for this Silver Wolf Racing team. Mercedes finally, out of the NSDCA. This is just basically the leftover bodies from last season that Silver Wolf Racing is running for the Mercedes team. But Mercedes has no say in anything with the NSDCA anymore. But you see in front of these guys, you look at this pack of trucks right here. Alex Peters, Peter Onjak, Brandon Beal, Alex Fletcher, Jesse Turner. Just a little further back is Austin Johnson, Jefferson, and Murray. So this isn't even the thick part of the lappers. This is the light work that you're going to be passing guys like Joseph Strigley, Maxwell Fye, Kev Shearer, Eric Monaco. You're going to be getting into a very big pack of trucks very quickly that you see is just a bit up the road, and that's going to be harder for Johnson, Jefferson, and Murray to get by. Now, Jefferson and Murray could get up there and possibly pass Johnson, but they need to make quicker work of these lap trucks than they are. Again, Nashville a bit harder to pass on, it seems, as they're working here. And Austin Johnson's relied on a couple picks as Kev Shearer is going to move to the inside of Monaco. Johnson's going to try to follow him through, but Morris has been there as well making moves. Austin Murray now in the 91 looking for that second spot on Jefferson. Last season, the 91 had 4 victories with Logan Cloud, and Murray had 3 on his own with Mid-South Automotive. This season, he has no wins. And Murray, who was a title contender at the beginning of the season, is now 14th in points after a couple bad races. He's trying to fight his way back inside this chance for a race win here and fight his way back towards the chase. This is event 9 of 20 on the season. There's 7 chase races, meaning after this, we only have 4 events left to make the chase. We go to Watkins Glen, I know, is one of them, and then the doubleheader at Chicagoland. The 4th race eludes me at this time, but we do have 4 races left in the season for these guys to start making moves. So looking at the points right now, it's pretty safe to say Roger Ray, Peter Onjak could possibly be in the chase. However, it depends on how far back Onjak falls after this. 36th right now. But again, now these guys getting into the thicker lap traffic. You just got a pack of trucks up here, and they're all slower. So Johnson, Jefferson, Murray, Reed are your top 4 right now that have opened up a gap over the rest of them. Those guys are going to be having to fight through lap traffic and amongst themselves possibly for this race win as we come down now inside of 30 to go. And Jefferson now, Johnson cannot get around Fitzwater, cannot get around Shearer. Morris fighting back. That's going to bring Murray and Jefferson right to his back bumper. And this is going to be a battle for the race lead here now amongst all the lap traffic in front of him. Murray's trying to clear into second if he can get a run on Jefferson. You see Anderson Reed clearing Monaco back there. And now does Murray try to throw it 3 wide to get under Johnson? Yes, he will. Johnson walks it up the track. Murray tries to get a nose down there, and he's going to clear Jefferson. But now Austin Murray, it's 2 GMC drivers, 1st and 2nd. Anderson Reed now for Onge Auto working his way up into 3rd, as now finally Johnson's going to work his way past Morris and Stephen Wallace Jr., but now that puts Murray right on the back. Johnson up the track. Here comes Murray to the inside. Battle for the race lead as they come down the back straightaway now, and Murray's going to have to try to work with Shearer. You got Shearer, Fitzwater up in front of him, but right there, if he can't clear off the corner, he won't. Johnson fights back on the outside down the front straightaway, but now Stephen Wallace Jr. wants to get one of his laps back. Morris is in there. Reed's right there as well, and that's going to give Austin Murray the race lead now here at Nashville as he clears Austin Johnson for that top spot. Now Johnson has to try to fight back. Jefferson and Reed now stuck behind a couple lap trucks here, and really we outside of South Boston this season, we've never really seen lap traffic in the NSDCA. It just never goes green that often. So a lot of these drivers never really have to deal with just thick packs like this. You still got a bunch of trucks left, and now Johnson's going to get back to the inside of Murray. The lap traffic is causing mayhem for these race leaders, but it's a factor of racing on these small ovals, and now Austin Johnson is going to work trying to get around Murray. Real big run there, pushes Murray up the track. Might have been some contact on the exit as they're still banging for this race lead. Jefferson and Reed have now been shuffled pretty much out of this one. Eli Bright has caught up in the 8. He's in this group now, but Johnson fighting to the inside of Austin Murray. We got 20 laps to go in just a couple laps. I believe 22 to go this time by, and now Austin Johnson working to the inside. He's going to get by Fitzwater. Morris is jumping to the inside. Don't know why Brandon's racing so hard. He's multiple laps down in that 89 truck, but now Austin Murray has been shuffled back out of this one. Now he's a couple trucks back. Anderson Reed's clearing to 3rd. Jefferson 4th. Eli Bright 5th. Jose Perez is there in 6th. Benyako 7th. Lane 8th. Goforth 9th. Irving Allison up in 10th as Alex Parker has been removed from that. You see, we're going to take a wider angle shot of this. There's a pretty thick pack about Benyako on back. This is where the majority of the trucks are, though. As you see in front of this pack, there's a pretty good opening up here. Tib Foster, Zachary DeLello, they're running pretty solidly separated, but Austin Johnson, Austin Murray, the race leaders are working through a heavy group of lap trucks as they now work their way around Brandon Beal, who's running right now in the 30th position, and Murray's going to slide up, but now it looks like 10 drivers have gone a lap down. Still a lot of this race left to go with 18 laps to go next time by, and with Murray and now Anderson Reed closing quickly on the back of Austin Johnson, this could be a battle to the end, and this lap traffic might be the things making this happen. Now Austin Johnson, a bit poorer of an exit off the corner. Murray in the 91 is going to get a run. And now the Cadbury Dairy Milk 91. It was supposed to run a couple races earlier this season, but now it's finally back on the car, on the truck. So this is their debut race, and he's showing a very strong debut for this sponsor. He's up in 2nd, chasing him down. Anderson Reed dives it in the Dick's Sporting Goods 41 up to that 3rd position, performing very well at a short track. Johnson a bit slow as Kev Shearer can't get around Shearer. That's going to allow Murray to jump back to the inside of the 91. The 77 had a poor run through 1 and 2, and Austin Murray in the 91 is your new race leader. And now coming around, it's 16 to go this time by as they cross the line. Murray looking for his first win of the season. Austin Johnson looking for his first career Crown Royal Truck Series victory. Anderson Reed looking for his first win of the season. Now Johnson back to the inside in the 77. Anderson Reed waiting in the wings, has a couple lap trucks between him and the TSR guys, so he might not have to worry too much. Drag race across the line. Murray's going to power off the corner, but Austin Johnson fights right back on the inside. Now Anderson Reed shoved up the track. Morris still fighting in that 89. He does have those fresher tires, but he needs to lay off in that 89 truck. Jeez, let the race leaders race each other. They have enough lap traffic to worry about. Reed now in the 41 drops back behind the 89. You got Beal and Stephen Wallace Jr. fighting back there with Jefferson further back. Now Austin Murray pulling a bit away from Johnson, but again, just cannot get around these lap trucks fast enough. Peter Onjak, the next one in line, and now Murray, can he try to make a move to get around this 44 truck? Here is Onjak was a lapper last week at Texas World, or a couple weeks ago at Texas World, but now it doesn't look like he's waiting too much because he's got Anderson Reed back there in 3rd that really needs these lap trucks to help him out, possibly take a win away from these GMC guys. Jefferson right further back there. Looks like Jose Perez is now joining this front battle as they're working on through. But up in front, Austin Murray is starting to pull away. Morris and Reed contact there. Anderson Reed none too happy with the 89 truck, and Morris has been called to the hauler after this. He's been the NSDCA talking to the crew chief right now. Might have to pay a hauler visit at the end of this race because he's been really messing with these race leaders. And I mean, you're allowed to, but that is really bad sportsmanship by the 89 team right now. But that looks like it's going to leave it to 2 drivers, the GMC guys of Austin Johnson and Austin Murray. Johnson gets a run back to the inside as these guys cannot work their way around Onjak. Now Jefferson is clearing to 3rd. Anderson Reed's dropping back quickly. Bright's 4th. 5th is... No, Bright is 5th, so Reed is 4th. That's my bad. But we got a battle for the race lead now. 11 laps to go, 10 to go this time by, and Johnson right back to the inside now working on Peter Onjak, trying to get around him. These guys up in front, though, have kind of spread out in this front pack. Austin Johnson's slow, coming down pit road, so it looks like those guys that came in on lap 6 are not going to make it to the end. And now if you're Austin Murray, if you're Jay Jefferson, Jose Perez, Anderson Reed, you got to watch your fuel now, as you might not make it to the end of this event. And there it is. Austin Murray's pulling on down. Jay Jefferson's in. You got the 25 of Mitchell in. So all those guys that came in on lap 6 tried to make it to the end. It's not going to happen for them. And that will give the race lead over to, I believe, the 8, if I can get to him. Yes, Eli Bright now your new race leader, and he came in on that lap 13 pit cycle under that caution, and now he is 7 laps away from taking his first Truck Series win in 2 years. Murray Jefferson coming back off. I was watching that race this whole time. I completely forgot that the strategy could not hold up, possibly. Anderson Reed, Austin Johnson, Alex Beniaco, Perez, Murray, they all came down pit road, as well as Jefferson, Mitchell, and Goforth also came down. So the entire group from lap 6 is out of this one. Gatlin Downey in the 18 pit on lap 7. He's 34th. It looks like he came down pit road as well. And Zachary DeLello is the last driver that came down pit road. Now you got Colton Lane, Irving Allison, Logan Bradley in this top fight. Caution is out. Beal is down pit road. Caution is out. That might be the race. Eli Bright is going to lead him back around. Lane bounces off the wall. Lane will take that second spot, but Eli Bright now 5 laps away from a race win. However, are these guys good on fuel to the end of this event? As you see, a lot of these guys trying to work their way around trying to get back up. But Eli Bright, looks like they're going to stay out. So Eli Bright now in the catbird seat. A couple guys coming down back there. Kukulon and Yo running out of fuel at the end of this one. Now, so some diverging strategies at the beginning of this one. Tim Foster bringing it on in. Diverging strategies is going to play a factor in this event. Eli Bright, your new race leader. There's only 19 now on the lead lap as Larry Hagan goes a lap down. So Eli Bright's your race leader. Colton Lane's second. Irving Allison third. Everyone still out on the lead lap. Pit on lap 13. That's 68 laps to the end. You have lap traffic. You have racing, and again, it's still an unknown here. We're basically basing it off of practice runs that these guys ran, and extrapolating the data from that. As you see, Monaco's going to bring it on in. It looks like the 7 of Alex Parker's coming on in. So with a caution with 5 to go, we should be able to have maybe a 1-lap dash, and that's going to put Lane and Irving Allison possibly in the catbird seat to get a run on Bright in this final lap. But again, it's pretty hard to pass. You might have to move him out of the way. There's Fletcher coming on down. So if you're pitting now for those 4 tires and fuel, or at least the fuel, you're not going to lose a top 20 run. You're still going to be top 19 as the rest of the field's 1 lap down. But you got the top 3, Eli Bright, Colton Lane, and Irving Allison out in front. Will they be able to last these final 3 laps? We'll wait and see. We'll see what happened to bring out the caution, though, basically to end this race here at Nashville. So the incident here, you see Larry Hagan's right on the back of Spurley Tube. Up in front, Adam Mitchell bounces off the wall, kind of spooks Spurley Tube a bit. Now they're going to be 4 wide as Ethan Head tries to make a move up the middle. It hooks the 76 and Kyle Corbett up and pretty much over as he rides the wall, then slides back down, flips over. Nice to see Corbett was able to drive away from that. But Larry Hagan him and Corbett got probably the most damage there. Ethan Head got a bit from running into the back of the 76, but really that is a big hit to both the 19 and the 76 there as they get into the wall. Ethan Head with some damage in that as well. Matthew Brown, nice job by Brown to get through it. On board with Larry Hagan. Spurley Tube in front of him. Mitchell goes up, hits the wall up there. Spurley Tube slows down just a little bit. And you're fighting for spots, trying to get anything you can at the end of this race. They push the envelope, multiple cars in it. Bring us back to the action here at Nashville after this. So we'll see if we go back green to finish this race. Field paces around, lap 78 of 80. The lights go out this time. We have a 1-lap dash. The lights don't go out. Eli Bright most likely is your winner. The 41 truck has pulled the truck behind the wall. A camshaft failure on the 41 right at the end of this race is going to take him out of what could have still been a salvageable position. Not going to happen, but as they come across the line right there, the lights stay on, and that should be the end of the race. It looks like Eli Bright and this 8 team are just 2 laps away from taking their first victory of the season, the first victory for the number 8 team in their 2 years of the NSDCA. The last time Eli Bright won a race was filling in for the injured Riley Spurleytube in the number 28. Eli said he wanted to go out and win races after he was removed from the 28 for Riley Spurleytube's comeback last season. He wanted to go win races. It was a horrible season last year in terms of TSR. It was the brand new team, but now this 8 team has better equipment. You got the 01 dropping out at the back, but coming around it'll be the white flag, and it could be Eli Bright's race to lose here as they're going to come across the line taking the white flag. Colton Lane second, Irving Allison third. Just clutch and coast from here. That's all you got to do is clutch and coast from here. And Bright has this race in the bag. The lights staying on. The car is still pacing on around. We saw Maxwell Fye duck down pit road in the 01 truck. 26th, already a lap down anyway. Looks like one truck's running out. That's Roger Ray in the 84 has ran out of fuel on track. Did not want to come down. Now they're going to have to try to coast this 84 back home to a respectable finish. As long as he finishes the race and, you know, doesn't, like, end up... He's not going to make it back. He's 18 miles per hour. He's not going to make it back. One truck slow. Irving Allison's out of fuel. Antoine Smith in the 00 is out of fuel. They got to come down pit road. So the fuel will not last here at Nashville. And that's going to give these Cup guys some info there. But coming across the line, it will be Eli Bright taking home the victory here at Nashville. Colton Lane's going to come across second. Logan Bradley comes home third. Dusty Neal comes home fourth. And the rest of the field, they're all out of fuel. They're all just sitting at the back out of fuel. Zachary DeLello's out. So who's going to even get through to end this race if the whole field's out of fuel? Roger Ray's still trying to get around. And that is some wacky shenanigans here at the end, you know. Again, the fuel, you know, it was their decision to come down earlier. Everyone who came in on lap 13, at least the majority of them, were able to finish this race, but that's the whole field running out of fuel at the end. So that's just important for drivers, as Ray's probably not going to finish this. Well, we don't know how the finishing order is outside of the first group now, but we'll see as Eli Bright is the last driver. Eli Bright, Colton Lane are the last 2 out there. They're going to bring Bright down pit road, get him some fuel in that truck so he can go out and do a burnout. But that is a wacky way to end this race. It's a fuel strategy to the end, so this will give us some info, though. As much as this finish might be neutered, again, it was going to finish under caution anyway. It looks like the majority of the field that didn't make it around is going to finish where they are anyway. So Alex Fletcher's still going to finish 19th, and those guys that were already a lap or 2 down. It looks like the field's basically going to stay the same. Irving Allison drops a couple spots for running out, but everyone at the end run out. This is a wacky finish and plays into the big storyline that it's been fuel strategy for the most part of this season. At least, though, this one did end under caution, so it wasn't a loss of many pit stops, or it wasn't a major loss for a lot of teams in terms of position. But this will give us info for the Cup race the next time out. The Cup race is going to be 120 laps, so if the fuel window is 60 to 65 instead of what we were thinking it was, 65 to 70, that could be a one-stop race. But again, cautions will play into that. But this gives a lot of these guys the info, a lot of teams the info for tomorrow's event. You know, pit when you need to. You got to pit at certain points so you don't run out of fuel at the end, especially if the race can go green the whole way or if cautions come out. And again, those early couple cautions were really what gave us that alternate fuel strategy, which was interesting and basically gives Eli Bright a race victory. So that's nice to see for Eli and that team getting a race win. TSR, of course, but those guys running out of fuel at the end, you know, you're stuck in lap traffic. You can't really save because you got guys catching you now. You can't just be out on your own, coasting into corners. You got to watch all these lappers around you. That's probably what killed a lot of teams at the end. But Eli Bright comes home with the victory here at Nashville. We're just 4 races away from our chase for the Crown Royal Truck Series Championship. But still a lot of weeks away with all these Cup races, Mountain Dew Custom Series races. And don't count out the DPDS and Molson Modifieds. The DPDS race at Watkins Glen ran this weekend. They only have 2 races left until they crown their champion. Molson Modifieds have 3 races left until they crown their champion. But We got 5 series left to race and to go this season. A pretty exciting race, some alternate strategy, and it was a pretty nice way to end it. A lot of guys ran out of fuel, but nice for them that the caution came out. They didn't have to actually run their cars out of fuel while it was green. Thank you guys so much for watching the Nashville race, the Tractor Supply Company 250 here in the Crown Royal Truck Series. We will see you guys next time on the NSDCA.